Good day, everyone, and welcome. Before we start, we have a disclosure. Please be aware of risk in the future trading. You're very welcome to follow any of our automated signal. As long as you are on a sim, we're not responsible for your trade. Neither we are a financial advisor. We're just here to help you, educate you. Whatever you do is at your own risk. Like what I said the beginning of this year, the ones who can read the market, it's going to be the best year for him. And the ones that don't know how to read the market, when they are auto trading, that it will be filtered out this year, and there will not be enough money in their account by the end of this year to take any trades. The market is amazingly moving very fast, and the volatility, if you know what you're doing, it is an advantage, and if you don't know what you're doing, it can be a nightmare. And this year, as we said, is going to be filtering a lot of traders, and we just have a new trade on the Nasdaq, and it's amazing. And if we're gonna look at the ES, let's take this away, and if we look at the ES, where is staying at the moment, we are on the support area, and the target for that entry is 44.25, is already 58 takes into that trade. And if we are breaking that support area, we can be hitting the target at 44.24. So if you are thinking about taking a short trade here, be careful. Could be pullback, and the pullback on the ES is going to be as a re-entry at 44.46, but you cannot take it short in here. It's not gonna work for you, so there is a high risk, because if this auto trade, so if we are looking at this auto trade on the ES, we understand we have 1100, 1600. If we break that trade, this support area here, it can be potential all the way down to the 44.24. If this support area did not hold, we have the trailing stop at 44.38. It's not the greatest, but it's not the worst. So this is something you can do on the auto trade from the top. And because of the situation, look at this. You could have pushed this button here and secure your profit, and you are done for today. You should not be trading anymore. If you want to take a trade, hoping that it's gonna go further, that's fine, as long as you keep your eye on the 44.32.75. This is a really crucial area here. So the way I'm looking at it, there is a good potential for a breakout from that level, and we will see if this area here gonna hold. You have 1 bar, 2 bar, 3 bars, 4 bars, and the 4 bars are trying to break that line here, and they're having a problem with that. Well, we closed it, and nothing we can do. So for the pullback re-entry on the ES should be somewhere around here at 44.47. This is the pullback re-entry. So this is a very valid to re-enter the market at 44.47. If you are a light-handed, to our traders, if you are a light-handed, this is an advantage for you. Despite all the auto trades you have, this is an advantage for you because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 confirmation here on that line here. So what it does, you can take a long trade here, and your stop loss should be 44.32, and then you take the trade long, and then your destination should be somewhere around there, 44.46. This is a quick trade because what we do, we can use the advantage of a support or a resistance to squeeze a small trades here and there. And this is exactly as we speak, it happened. And then the trade from here and the stop loss should not be no more than one tick below this wick right there, and then you close the trade right there, and then you can go short on that trade one more time, and then close the trade right there at the support. So once you start getting to the rhythm, even if you're auto trade, but you have to have two different accounts. You cannot trade the same account if you have the auto trade on, but if you have a separate account, then you can squeeze small trades here and there, and you can use the support and the resistance to your advantage, and keep your hand on the mouth, and you, as long as we understand like what we predicted, there is a re-entry here, and it was a re-entry here, and I don't have a crystal ball how I'm predicting. This comes after time you put on the chart. You understand where is this market going, and where you can squeeze the small trades, and those are those are for a guy is comfortable, they are more fun. You know, the auto trade is an auto trade, taking a trade, but when you can squeeze trade between support and a resistance, is a more like a challenging, and when those guys leave doors open and you jump in on a trade, it is more fun just to auto trade when you start getting comfortable with your trade. So this is, so right now, the story short, the ES, the resistance level is 44.4675, and the support area is at 44.34. So now what we are looking at the ES to find a breakout. If this ES go farther down, this means we have open doors for more trades, whether we are auto trading or manual trading. However, if the ES, whether you are using our auto trade or somebody else auto trade, once you enter above the 44.47, you're gonna start losing money. For the long trades, is no longer that chart tradable to go long if the ES cross the 44.47. All bets are off, and actually you should leave your auto trade on pause. And let's say if you have an auto trade, is taking a long trade, there is a button on the top, the auto trade. You can pause the trade, and then you should not be taking a long trade, or you can direct the auto trade to go short only. You're not interested in long. So The market right now is tradable as long as we are not above 44.47. As long as we are below 447, it's tradable, and the doors are open to make money. Auto trading above that area here is nothing but the bad news. Your chances on your auto trade to make money is almost 0 to none. And this is not just the ES. If we are a NASDAQ trader, and if your NASDAQ go above the 1467750, is a dead meat trade. It is suicide trade, and you're not gonna get anything out of that trade. So when you are auto trading, does not mean you are safe. When you are auto trading, you have to watch the 1 minute like a hawk to understand where we are in the market, and if there is a potential for profit, maximize profit, squeeze in small trades in between. And as we said, is a survival from 9:30 to 10-11 o'clock, and you should be done, and you should not be messing with the market anymore. So right now, as we see the YM give in to the sell position, there is a new signal sell position, a little chop on the way, and right now as we see the ES target hit, and the ES made 87 ticks based on one contract, $1,100. You could have stopped here on $500, and you could have stayed till the target, and that would have been double up the money. But is 500 is good, and $1,000 is good. Today you make 500. Once you start getting further on your back and you start getting stronger, the 1,000 is just as good as the 500. So it's not really hard to understand where is your limitation on that trade. The gold also, you will find a lot of good trades in the morning with the gold, and we have some traders, what they do with the gold, they find a lot of gaps open before the markets open on the gold, or very early in the morning at 9 o'clock you find there is a lot of doors open on the gold. As long as you put your 1 minute chart, analyze what's going on, the gold is a very easy to trade, and the CL, you can always find the spots on the CL to get what you want. So right now, if we also to our members, because you have the system, as you see, there is the ES hit target, and the NASDAQ hit the target. The ES on the way down nailed 87 ticks based on one contract, and the NASDAQ hit 465 ticks on the way down, target hit. Usually you can use the target hit for your advantage, and let me explain to you why. Once the market hit the target, the market pulled back, and once the market pulled back, very rare the market keep going farther than your target, very rare, but it happened. And if we notice, once the ES hit the target, the ES stopped. Then you have the trend exhaustion fired the opposite direction. Then in some conditions, sometimes you're gonna have some reversal here, or a buy signal come in below the chart, below the bars, indicating not to just close in position, indicating once you close your position, you can squeeze another trade, and that trade can go on two target. The first target is right there, 44.40. You close the first target if you are on two contract, and the second target, it will be 44.47, closing the second contract. Once you close the second contract, you go short again in that area and going back down. You can sit down once you understand the rhythm, even if you have an account is trading the ES, the SIM account is all, or another account you have, you can sit down and trade the gaps between the chart for scalping, and it is you can start on a sim with it, and I strongly recommend the sim to start to take a small trades on a sim and practice on it, because there is sometimes around the Christmas and now we are coming to the summer when the kids are on a holiday. The market is normally flat, and in the summer really you cannot auto trade, or around the Christmas you really cannot auto trade, not unless if you are using 20-second and 30-second. That is a total different story. But normally in the summer or around the Christmas or around the holidays, summer holidays or winter holidays, the market have potential to go flat, and there is no movement in the market. And when you practice, even on a sim, when you practice to go between the open doors, the small open doors in the trading, that it is really good, and it is really fun, and it is really challenging, because now you are comfortable with your trade. So if we notice here on the ES, target hit, nothing happened when the target hit, and the target hit on the Nasdaq, and nothing happened when both of them hit the target. So what happened here? When your auto trader closed the target, what happened? You can initiate market order with a very limited stop loss. The advantage here is we are taking a reversal. On a reversal, you do not use a lot of money. So with this advantage here is the bottom line, and the market is playing in that area here. So most likely this market is going to turn around and go. Sometimes it's very rare, this market is going to go farther down. In that situation today, maybe if the ES want to go below the target, is going to target one, profit taking on target one, like what we have done yesterday. And the target one on the institutional, it is 44.1870, 44.1850, and the second target 44.04. And those are institutional numbers. Usually they should be closed before 12 o'clock. Those targets should hit before 12 o'clock. So we are very far from target 2 right now, but target 1 is not that far from the automated signal, and there is a good potential they're gonna keep driving it to the target 1, profit taking and going back. If we look at the Nasdaq is still on the target. If this Nasdaq want to go any further down, if they are pushing this market down, they cannot go any place farther than 45.41. So this is the end of this trend to the short, and it is time for the market to go back. Always, 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 when the price action is away from this number, 44.44, 14, yeah, 46.40, we can say, on the Nasdaq. Always the market go back, trying to reach those numbers again to confirm. So this is where, this is the beginning of the end, the short trades. And another things also, we have put those two yellow colors, the yellow lines, and it is vice versa if we are going long. And those are not oversold, bought indicator. Also, if you're not that technical, once this market entered those two yellow lines, you can always take a micro account on the ES, initiate long. I don't know if it's going to turn around here or here or here, but once this market go between those two yellow lines, this means the market, I don't want to bother you with details, but with those two yellow lines is measuring all the previous highs and lows. So it's a matter of time this market is going to turn around. It's a matter of time before this market going to turn around. If we look at the Nasdaq, it came into the target 1, profit taken, and they pushed it a little bit farther, but there is a profit taken here as well. Once the ES hit target 2 before 12 o'clock, there is no more trades. There is no more manual trades, and there is no more auto trading. It's done for today. Because what happened for many years, of course, there is always a few days are exceptional. In the market, there is no such a thing called black and white. "95% when the ES hit the target 2, go back to target 1 and keep going back to target 2 and 1 for at least half an hour to 45 minutes. There is no trending. And also depends on the days. But normally, once we hit the target 2 before 12 o'clock, there is nothing left to trade. We have target 3 for the afternoon session, but we're not interested in this because we want to finish at 12 o'clock. So now as we see, there is a reversal fired, and there is a good potential. We're going up again to those numbers we have mentioned, and the market want to go back to those numbers to retest those numbers, and from those numbers, if there is still a short trade, it's gonna keep going back as a pullback re-entry short. So excuse me. So as we see here, the ES went back because we understood it was finished from the short side, and it is a matter of time before this market turn around, and we have predicted before any amateur trading out there, we have predicted the market is about to turn around and it's the end of the line on that. Now if we see how the market is coming to the 44.40, as long as this market below the 44.40, we are in a good shape. As long as this market stays below 146.23, we are in a good shape. Once this market crosses that number, you need to put everything on hold. You cannot take any long trades at the moment. You cannot take any short trades at the moment. Once this market land on a critical area on the chart, it's not tradable. Shut down everything. If you are in a trade, protect it, protect the profit. If you are not in a trade, you should not jump on the wagon and take a trade. Because once we cross the 44.39 or 44.38.75, you are bumped into a very high risk critical area. It's exactly like a U-boat trying to turn around, and it makes a big turn to make a U-turn. And here is the same thing with the market. It's gonna take time to, if you cut that trade long, like what we told you, you should be okay. And what you do, you monitor the trade. You understand you have a problem here, and we are coming to major problem right there. And this is your profit, and your trading stop is based on a fib. You immediately cover, you take over your auto trade and you cover your trading stop, because once we cross this one here, we are going on a very high risk trade, and there is a good potential for this market to fire back immediately against us. So once we predicted the market is going, it was finished to the short side, and watch this, this is a cat and a mouse between you and the market. This is where the critical area started right there. We have predicted where the short was. We have predicted there is an entry for our trader can take, once the market hit the target, you can take a reversal, manual trade. It's okay. And then, if we notice right now, if we look at the ES, we see what is this ES at that number, and you can see how this market stopped. That's why we said, if you are in a trade, secure your profit immediately, but you do not let the auto trade take in the trades in there. And look what happened on the ES. The ES halt right there. One minute you have $800, $900. If you don't take action, if you cannot read what's going on the ES, you end up with a couple $100 trade. If you understand what's going on, you will go above $1,000 on that trade. If you notice what happened on the ES and the NASDAQ, 1 minute you have on the NASDAQ a little over 2,000, and now you can see your profit is melting like an ice cream right in front of you. In the trading, decision made, no regrets. Decision made, no regrets. When you want to secure your profit, you secure your profit, and don't hope for more, don't hope for less. And now if you noticed, we just smoked away over $1,000 on the ES. It was laying right there on our table. We didn't pick it up. Somebody passed by and picked up this $1,000 from your table. And we still have one trade. It was a little over 2,000. We did not take an action and taking a profit on the Nasdaq. Now we are in a dangerous zone again. And what is the difference between that line here and that line here? I would have taken that trade. It happened worked for your favor today, but it didn't work on the ES because the way the ES pulled back knocked you out of that trade. If we look at the Nasdaq, barely came in to knock you out of that trade and then turn around. That was luck. That was luck. You stayed on that trade and you increased your profit by double. But the proper trade is you should have taken exit here with the DES and call it off for today. You just catch a trend. The thing is, catching a trend, maximize trend. I don't care what will happen after a couple minutes, and leave the table in one piece. So as we see here, start sinking again. Now the ES out of the wood here. Now it is tradable again to go long in here. If this ES come back to the support, confirm the support, we are on a safe zone to go long again. Between turning around from short to long, this is a critical area you don't mess with. Now, if this bar managed to stay above that support area, so now we are confirmed, set on the right direction to go long. So your auto trade now is ready to take a long trade. If we have confirmation, the ES is gonna hold on that level. Your destination again is gonna go back to the target, and from the target, the same maneuver again. It is, after you hit the target, is gonna be potential reversal. So let's go ahead and monitor that again. One more time. Is going to lift. And if you notice where is this target at, is right next to those two yellow lines. Once this market enter those two yellow lines, that means there is a potential short in there. We can risk it by taking one micro account on the ES and let it be. And we can drive this market from top to the bottom and from the bottom to the top. So if we look at the ES right now, it has been confirmed holding, and now it is long. We got the signal buy on the market analyzer. It's not totally confirmed on the other two, but we have the signal buy. It's a little bit of struggle on the resistance line. You can see how the market is a struggle on the resistance line at 44.60. And then what we do, once we cross this number, we are going to hit the target. And once we hit the target, we can go back and start to prepare for reversal. So this, you can sit down and cat and mouse with the market all day long because you know the tricks in the market. And this is something, now we're going to monitor that. It is having a hard time to break that area. We know why the ES is stopping here. And the same story goes to the YM. and the YM is going to. So now let's keep our eye on the ES. The secret with the trading on the future is catching the trend and not let it go. Grab it with both of your teeth. You don't let it go until you suck the blood out of that trade. The reason is because we don't want to take another trade. Because we don't know if we are going to make money on the second trade. When you got a nice juicy steak in your mouth, don't let it go. Bite it. Hold it. So when we are grabbing a trend, I'm not letting it go. The reason I'm not letting it go, not because of the greed. No. Because I don't want to keep trading all day long. As I said yesterday, when they were talking to those people in Las Vegas, they say the most money they make when people stay longer. The longer people stay in the casino, the more potential to lose all their money. The smart guys goes to the casino, he have a win in hands, he runs out of the casino. The same thing here in the trading. It's like a casino. We're going right now direct to the target. We are going to cross those two yellow lines. The party is over. Now we are potentially going to calculate how we're going to short out this market, because the mission has accomplished on this. So on the long trade, after we are done with the short trade, on the long trade on the ES, another 85 ticks based on one contract, profit from the buy entry right there. And now we are hitting the target at 44.70. Once this ES hit the target, we are gonna start looking for reversal on the side beside your auto trade. And you can sit down all day long banging on the market by being patient and if we notice here, there is a couple reversal fired. Our reversal are not a repaint reversal like the others. They don't move. So we have a couple reversal. On the analysis here, we have a very mixed market. Very mixed. Half-half, 50%. And the bears are 42. The bulls are 58. No signal. And there is a good potential right now. It's going to go back. The re-entry point again, if you want to take some trades on the side, is 44, 45, 25. Those poor traders, when this bar goes down like this, now they want to go short and there is no short, and then they get whacked and they get aggravated. Now they are revenge trading, and once you start with revenge trading, you're doomed. Once the market go under your skin, it's like a bug, you never can get it out anymore. And once the market start going under your skin and start pissing off, and then that's mean you are in trouble. Stay away from the market. Go smoke a cigarette. Go have a nice coffee, go eat ice cream, do whatever you want, have a glass of beer, and come back, because you should not be making decision when you are upset. So now we have the ES fired, and we're going back straight down to the re-entry at this level here, and it's going to go back and it's going to retest this market again. The Nasdaq a closed position. The Nasdaq a closed position, and that trade is a losing trade on the Nasdaq on the white chart. Is a losing trade without even think about it. Why? because it's a pullback. There is no short trade in there. And this one is a loser trade. If you recognize it, you cover yourself, even if you can break even and get rid of that trade as soon as possible, because you are in trouble in here. We understand when we are in trouble because the Nasdaq is right there, 14677 as a re-entry, and this is, you don't need to look at it. You need to immediately cut your losses on it as soon as possible, because there is no short trade here. There is a long trade. And the same thing happened on the YM after it made money, and it is the same thing. This is not a good trade because the Nasdaq is going to kick right up again, and it's going to go and climb the market. And the same story as we expected. The ES came into this level, and you should never even think about taking a trade if this Nasdaq sink in to this big pile of mud right there. This is suicide right there. This is unsurvivable area on the market. And this one here, you should not be trading it, and you should not be auto trading it. And this is a nightmare here. And the pullback came in there. As long as this market stay above that line, is tradable, or if this market go below that line, is tradable. In between this area here is a heavy turbulence. Most likely you will not survive that trade. And this is where you start an amateur trader making mistakes in there, because it's short, it's long, it's short, it's long, so they get lost. But if you stay consistent, this one here is going long only. And as you notice, look at this. After they spook those amateur trading, the market is kicking back up again and going back on the same rhythm. What they did, they just cleaned a few amateur trading on their way. That's it. And then they went back up again. So as we see here, that's why the Nasdaq, I knew it. It was a wrong move by the auto trade. And your auto trade, no matter how much time you spend on the weekend, he's gonna dive into big pile of mud once in a while. And it's not unusual for your auto trade to jump on a big pile of mud in there a couple times a day. It's not unusual. No matter how much you optimize, you cannot prevent, because the auto trade is thinking one direction and you are thinking another direction. And if you spot a bad trade, get out of it as soon as possible. You don't like that trade, get out of it. There's plenty trades after that. So right now, as we see the ES here, it's confusion to a lot of traders what's going on. But for you as a trader, especially our people, you have to stay long. Do not get your brain confused. It's going to drop or not. As long as this market staying above that line with a number, don't panic, stay long. Very rare. If this market want to go below that line, it will not go on the first jump. The ES has to come to that number couple, 3 times before he is able to break it. And by then you are aware of the danger in there. So as we see here, the market pulled their momentum again, and now you can see that we're monkeying us around. People lose money on the dangerous area, and right under our nose, they're gonna go ahead and sneak up a little bit at the time, and going back and forth until sneak it all the way to the target. In the meantime, in those cases, folks, if you have an auto trade on a trade, that's fine. Break even, sit on the side, or if you want to relax, stay away. Don't jump on the trade until this market, because here, right now, on the ES, you're gonna get dizzy. Whether you are auto trading or manual trading, you're gonna get really dizzy because it's bouncing back and forth. You're not missing anything. And when it does this, you're not missing anything. The highest destination on that ES is somewhere around there. So we focus only on long trade. Once this ES enter those two yellow lines and you have a resistance in here, you slam it with a short and you stay away and you watch it slowly start dropping. If we are in a trade, you take a profit there and you slam the short. Once this market cross the target, enter those two yellow lines. Those are not baby indicator oversold, overbought indicators. Those indicators are measuring the previous highs and lows. So they are most likely, they pinpoint the last 24 hours or the last 48 hours. What is the highs and the lows? What is the average? And then you get slammed with it. And then we understand. The same thing we did on the previous, when the market hit the target. If we notice here, the market from 10:42 for the last 6-7 minutes, we can see it is 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 6 times. The ES stayed on that line. Go back up and come back to this line, which we have highlighted half an hour ago when the market confirmed on that line, if you remember, and it come back to the same line. So how we are going to take advantage of it if we really want to trade. So now we understand the limitation of this ES. If this ES is dropping, we know where is his limitation. This is where, for a guy is taking a manual trade, he can take a manual trade every time the market hit those lines. And with a very small stop loss, because, and then what he does, he just relax and cash in here and then reverse the market one more time. That it is a very, and now we're gonna see it again. The same thing we have seen on the short, we're gonna see it on the long. So now they kept monkeying us around for half an hour, back and forth, which that is generate a lot of losses among those guys. They don't want to learn. They think an auto trade is a wash machine. They have seen their mother turn on the wash machine. They think it's a wash machine. So those guys now, they are somewhere, they are lost somewhere. You stay concentrate. We are climbing to hit the target. And now we are ready for a short once this market hit. We don't need to be hyper. We don't need to lose confidence. We are one step ahead of those disaster trading, whine and cry on the net. Their mother keep telling them they are smart and they get beat up in the market every single day. And you sit down, relax, and you're gonna keep doing this all day long if you want to. So on the way long, we got on the ES 112 ticks based on one contract, and now we are on the road again. We are entering this market, and the market, it might go up a couple bars more, and that is the end of the line, and it's gonna sink again. And when it's ready to sink, we are on a trade manually, if you want to. If we notice, the ES and the Nasdaq, they went into this yellow lines, and now if you notice here, there is a buyers trying to push this market higher. It's like when you're trying to slap someone in his face. You tell him, take your face up, up, up. And then they slap on the face. And it's the same story here. They're pushing it up, up, because they want to slam us with a nice pullback all the way down to the 44, 42. So they are encouraging us to get excited. And the more you get excited, the higher the number is going to get, the higher fall you're going to get. So if we look at the YM, also for the YM trader, it's the same story. We have entered this dead zone area, and they're telling you go higher, go higher. And now the Nasdaq start firing a reversal. The ES start firing reversal, and the market is telling you, watch out, you're gonna fall on your head. And there we go, two reversal. The YM is the same thing, an early warning. And then they slam us. They sit down, monk us around, and if we don't know what we're doing, we're gonna get a headache. Then you go back on the optimization because you were told, because they don't want to do the work. They don't have even the brain to do the work. They just want to sell you Autotrade, tell you you do optimization, and then you'll be fine. You're not fine. They just want to get rid of you. He don't have the brain to do this. How he wants you to help him? How he's going to help you? He's a handicap himself. So, as we see, it's like you're watching a movie, and you twice. Once you understand the market, it's like you're watching the movie twice. You know what is going to happen, and it happened. There is no magic in there. There is no magic. The same maneuver happened when we were down. The same stunt, they're doing this on us on the way up. And you fall into every single trap. You fall into every single movement. Do I need to touch this market to go long? No. Do I allow my auto trade to take long? No. If I am in a trade, I can secure my trade. But should I initiate the trades in here? No. Should your auto trade initiate the trades in there? No. You're putting your auto trade. And for those amateur trader, I'm not talking about my auto trade, sir. I'm talking about your auto trade, your lousy auto trade. You cannot auto trade in here, whether it's my auto trade or somebody else's wash machine. You cannot turn it on in here. It's gonna get nasty for you here. And here, when we are in the summer or around Christmas or when the kids are out of a holiday somewhere, there is a potential for this market not to move. Every time you come into those two yellow lines, I'm not saying take an ES, because maybe it could be expensive for you to hold a short position on a mini ES, but you can hold a position on a micro ES. I told one time a guy to go ahead and trade a micro ES, and then he turned on everything on the micro. He had over 100 trades. So what I'm saying is, when you turn on an ES on a micro account, does not mean you put 100 micro account contract in here if you don't know what you're doing. So what I'm saying is, for the hell of it, try to take one ES micro account reversal in this area. Let it be. Let it be. Don't use a stop loss on it. It's a micro account. How hard is it going to be? How hard? Let it be. The ES might go 1 bar, 2 bars more, but it's going to sink. It's going to sink. We know that. And as we see right now, once this market entered those two yellow lines and we hit the target, the Nasdaq has not hit the target yet. You can see how the ES is sinking. When you have leak on your boat, start sinking slowly. It's like this, it starts sinking, gradually sinking to that number. While those amateur traders losing their pants off today is a Friday. It's a very dangerous day if you don't know what you're doing on Friday. You sit down, waiting on the market to come to you, and you nail it long after you took the short from the top. You close position, you open position. We already agreed on the short in this area. Once this market sinking into this line, you close position, you open position. What you are doing, if you notice in this hour, we are predicting the market not by 30 seconds. We are predicting the market for every single move, 10 minutes before. So now the market starts sinking. You sit, you wait, because we took the short from the top. You come here, you wait. Now the ES is gonna play cat and mouse, go back and forth. We are determined. Here is the entry, here is the short, here is a close position, here is an open position. Thank you, it's done. The power of trading, it is the ATM, not the auto trades. It's the driver behind that platform. He can make his life miserable, or he can have it challenging and understand what's going on in the market. So we predicted the short. We are going straight to this line. From that line, we close it. We open a new position. Look what happened to the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq dropped, came into that line, and kicked right back up again. That is causing the YM. If you look at the YM came into this line and start going up again. So every time this market comes into this line, you have a trade. If the market want to break this line, we'll try 2-3 times and then it breaks it. The market don't go. Thank you, Louis. And there we go. And now what happened here, what happened, the reason this ES was here, because the YM came into this area, this line, and the Nasdaq came into this line. It's a long trade. What they're really missing is the ES to come down here. So what is really holding the ES, those two bozos here, the YM and the Nasdaq, they are holding on this line. Do we have a short if the Nasdaq go below that? No. Do we have a short if the YM go below that? No. And this is where we said the best indicator in the house is your ES, not your Renko bar. Because what happened right here, right now, once the ES break to the 44.56, where it says the line, there is a good potential long trade again. So right now, for me to trade the Nasdaq and the YM is a dead meat trade. It's irrelevant. And that's why when you see this, I want to auto trade. Yes, I want to leave my wife. I want an auto trade. Give me the best auto trade. Yeah, you want half a kilo auto trade, or you want to have a 1 kilo? You want wash detergent with it, or you want it dry clean? There is no such a thing. You know, I want to auto trade. No, you don't want to auto trade. Save your money. And now it is the Nasdaq and the YM. They are untradeable until this ES come into this number. So the Nasdaq and the YM is going as we agreed with. Once this market go below that number, there is a big pile of mud in here. We don't. Just the only word we can say on YouTube. Big pile of mud. You don't want to get into it. You don't want to get your hands dirty. Once this market go below the 146, it's tradable again. And look what happened. We called a short from here. It came right at the 44.57. Bingo. Voila. Gentlemen, if you don't understand that, you will never make money in the trading. And all those guys, they keep telling you optimize the auto trade and you're gonna be fine, because you don't have even a brain to look at the chart. You just want to sell you an auto trade, get rid of you as soon as possible. You're not gonna make it. And there we go. It's the end of the story. This is, you sit down all day long, you bang on the market. The reason we don't cover anymore about manual trading, the manual trading is the most powerful instruments, because a human, no matter how much we do, but we don't want to encourage people to anymore. We give up. We don't want to encourage people to. Auto trades are wonderful things, but as I showed you yesterday, we have almost, we count them yesterday, we have like 17, 18 auto trades. We're not talking from weakness, we're talking from power. We have the most advanced auto trade. But you give it to a guy who don't want to learn, he's gonna rack it. And you ask a guy, are you looking at the 1 minute chart? Yes. Okay. I mean, are you really looking at the 1 minute chart, or you have a Playboy channel on the other screen? You know, because if you are looking at the 1 minute chart on the screen, and if you've been sitting behind that screen for 1 month and you still cannot see it, there is something wrong with you. Or you're probably not really watching the 1 minute, because you cannot avoid by looking at this chart, and we are training you what to look for. And if you're not receiving, there is two options here. Either I'm a lousy teacher, it could be I'm a lousy teacher, or you are a lousy trader. There is one of them. If you ask my wife, probably I'm the one that's bad, you know. If you ask maybe another trader, he thinks maybe it's different. But of course, maybe my wife will say I'm the lousy teacher. But anyway, but that's their job to mess us up. We don't let the market mess us up. Our women should play with our brain. They are allowed to. We enjoy that. But we do not allow the market screw up with our head. That's not their job. We have to concentrate on that trade. And there we go. It's like a magic. The market came in right at the yellow. And now what's going on? What is going to happen? Nothing. If your Autotrade taking a trade here, how much he's going to make? Nothing. I don't care if you are using 20-second Renko bar, banana bar. You're not going to make money. Simple as that. It's finished. Came back to the target. It's going back. And it's going to monk us around and ruin our lousy t-shirt. We all love Vito. We have an Italian guy by name Vito. I don't know how they let him in England, but it happened to be they let him in England. He said a lousy teacher and a drunk student. So that makes sense, Vito, for you, yes. And so, guys, that's all what we have for you today. And I want to say, wish you a really, really pleasant evening. And thank you, sir. Thank you. And thank you, sir. So right now we're done with this, and we understand the market came in those two yellow lines. There is no more trades. There is no more trades. It's finished. It can go up and down. It can go up and down. It can drive us crazy. The market is strong to the trend. But for me, to invest money once this market start entering those two yellow lines, it's not for me. I might miss $1,000 on a trade. The way you need to think about it, my friend, am I gonna miss $1,000 on that trade? Okay? But today I earned $300. I'm happy with it. I'm taking my $300. I'm taking my wife out to eat. I'm gonna enjoy my children to the best restaurant in the city with the $300, and I'm gonna blow up those $300, and I'm not giving it back to the trader. You are a man. You are a smart man. Even if you make $300, you are a good man. A guy, after we explained to him, this place here is not for you, and he want to keep poking with the market and put his finger in it, and today he made 1,000 or 300, and he's going to give it away again. The way to think about it, there is maybe $1,000 trade here, okay? For me, I can always find a few ticks here and there. I know where I am. I know I'm in the dangerous zone. I probably can pick up a couple ticks here and there. You might think if I take a trade here, I might make $1,000. Let it be. I have a $300 today I'm happy with, and I'm going to spend this $300 on my family. Or on Vito in England for charity. Helping the drunk people come back to life. I got you, Vito. I got you on this one. So, let it be. Let it be. This is the same thing happening with the trading. Oh, I can take one more trade. I can make 200. Many times this $100 trade or $200 trade is going to put you in trouble. Take your money and run. That's what if I was you, that's what I will do. And the older you get, you know what you say? When you get old and you've seen it all, you jump out of your chair many times, you threw your computer out of the window many times. I did in my younger age. And sometimes I say, let's say on a Friday, especially Friday, on the last hour, sometimes I see good trade can make $500. You know what I say to myself? This $500 is not worth it for me to get mad over the weekend. It's not worth it. Because I might make $500 or I might lose $200 on that trade. If I lose the $200 on that trade, I'm going to be pissed the whole weekend. What a dumb I am to put with the market, and I had $300 today and I lost $200 on the last hour. You never forgive yourself the whole weekend, and that can put you in a bad mood. So especially on a Friday, whatever you can grab and run. If it is $300, it is $300. You live another day, you pick up another fight, you choose your fights next week. But don't poke with the market on a Friday and let it ruin your weekend. Please don't do that. Don't let your greed. Try to be more cautious on Friday, so will not the trade affect you on the weekend. Because for me, I ruined many weekends in my life when my children that were young, and cussing myself out what a dumb I was to take on the last 15 minutes of trade, or how dumb I was when I took a trade on the last hour. So on a Friday there is a good trade at 1:30 in the afternoon when all those lousy traders leave on a Friday. They lose money on the first 2 hours. You can catch beautiful trends at 1:30 on Friday. Why? Because those guys, they leave this noises away, and then the market usually on a Friday goes one direction, either long or short, and you can pick up nice trade around 1:30 on Friday. But you should not extend your trade to the point can ruin your weekend. So if you can catch a couple of trades around 1:30 and they are to your level, take them. Don't do suicide trades. And even if you see the third trade, but you got 2 winning trades, you say, you know what, I'm off for the weekend. I'm going to close my brain for this weekend, and I'm not going to take my trade with me on the weekends. And then what happened on the weekend, you're pissed. When you come back on Monday, your head is not clear. Because you took the trade, the mistake you made with you on the weekends. And on Monday you're not ready. You make more mistakes. So this lousy trade costs you $200 and you shouldn't take it. You are paying much more than this couple $100 you lost. So the psychology behind the trading is much more important than sit miserably optimizing your auto trade on the weekends. Just for the sake of it, let's see what the ES come back to this level again. Look what happened. Where the ES come back to the same level, to the same line, to the same number. It's gonna try very hard to break that number. You see where the ES stopped? Now, because we talked about it, you see it. Look what happened. It's kicking off. Let me take you a little bit back, folks, to the NASDAQ, NYM. And if you go rewind the video a little bit, we told you there is no more trades because of the ES. And when the ES landed, they stayed. If the ES going up, the NASDAQ is going up. If the ES cannot hold above the 44.64, neither one of those YM and NASDAQ, they're going to stay up. There we go. It's not magic. It's knowledge. It's knowledge. Folks, you are a future trader. Future. You're looking ahead. You're looking ahead. You don't trade pattern in the past. You know? So, your job is not a MACD and ATR or optimization. Your job is to predict the future because you are a future trader. If you think about it, then your head start getting clear. I don't need a brilliant guy come in at the end of the day tell me how this thank you, Danielle. Oh, Danielle, you have snow in Israel right now, isn't it? You have a heavy storm. It's I think the snow is like 500 meter. Anyway, so yes, yes. What is it? The snow. How high it is? Yes, you have a snowstorm. 600 meter. Oh, okay. You don't have a snow in the city, do you? No. Okay, so please, guys, please. I know we all rough in our life. We all had our misery time somehow. But please, please, clean yourself before you trade. Please, get a clear mind. When you come in to trade, say, I want to survive. I don't care how much I make money. The most important, don't get excited over bar movement. Don't. Stay consistent like a sniper where you want to be in and out. And stay consistent, focused on the bigger picture. Don't go plus minus 1 bar. This is nothing. It's just noises in the market. So folks, I think we're done for today. And as we see, for the last 20 minutes, the market is flat. You cannot make money. On a Friday, you come back to your chart at 1:30, and you're going to find plenty trades in there. Wish you very, very nice weekend. God bless you all. And to our traders, we will try to release on Monday. Oh, God help me. We're going to release the new updates on Monday. Thank you very much, and God bless you all. Bye for now.